All right, my friends, thank you for clicking onto this video. Today, I'm going to give you some food for thought, or at least I'm going to try to. And if that serves its purpose with you and hits home personally, leave a comment down below and tell me how. And I do think at the very least, it should give you some fodder for conversation. And I hope that you can ruminate on these things and take a deep dive, whether you let anybody in on it or not. You see, as I was reading a page in my dictionary this morning, which is a habit I've tried to cultivate over the years. Sometimes I've kept up with it, other times I have not. I do find, or I do derive quite a bit of inspiration from it. It gives me a lot to think about because dictionaries, while you may just read a word or two or just a page, it's like reading an encyclopedia. It gives you so much to think about and challenge yourself with. It also helps you to become better at Jeopardy, believe it or not. I wouldn't say I'm good at Jeopardy. Definitely wouldn't say I'm great. I get a lot wrong, but I get a lot right. And sometimes I wonder, where in the world do I get this information from? Because I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just guessing, but reading a page of the dictionary helps. Doing that every day. I should make a video just on that, right? So maybe I will. Maybe I will one of these days. Let me know if you'd like to know more about that. But anyway, so my eyes fell upon a word that we commonly use, that you're very familiar with. You probably used it hundreds of times. And upon first hearing it, you're going to think, why would you want to talk about that? Give me a word. Give me something. Give me a 10-letter word. Something I haven't heard before that I might possibly want to use. Trust me. You don't want to do that with people because you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb and look pretentious. So what we're going to talk about is the word estimate. Or you could say estimate, depending on how you use it. Here's why I want to talk to you about this morning. Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines the word estimate as an opinion or judgment of the nature, character, or quality of a person or thing. A rough or approximate calculation. Now you might say, I already know what estimate means. But do you think about that? Are you in the habit of making rough approximations of the value of, let's go back to this, of the value of the nature, the character, or the quality of a person or thing? Are you forming opinions? Are you making judgments? We live in a time, oh my word, we live in a time where people are telling you, don't be judgmental, but you better like me. You better like me. You better say nice things about me because if you don't, I'm going to be very harsh with you. Discounting the fact that they are being very judgmental and they're not being nice or tolerable at all. So people are afraid to share their opinions and their judgments. In fact, I think some people shut down altogether and just stick with the status quo. They just go whichever direction the breeze is blowing. And I've seen people that I thought were statues of fortitude crumble to pieces. And they've stopped forming opinions and judgments and determining the quality of any given thing that is swirling in their atmosphere that's within their grasp. And I think that's a dangerous place to be. Another reason why I think people do this is because patterns of behavior are just very comfortable. We don't have to think. We don't have to think anymore. We don't have to take responsibility. It's easy to just say, that's just the way I do things. It's just who I am. They stopped valuating things. There are individuals who just go to work every day. They get up in the morning, they brush their teeth, they take their showers, they eat their breakfast, they get dressed, they drive to work, not even remembering how they got there. They do their mundane task. They don't even try too hard anymore to live up the boss's expectations. They just do what they know works and won't get them fired. They come home, they sit in front of the television, they eat dinner, they go to bed, and they repeat the same process over and over again, not ever asking if there's ever a better way to get things done, ever a better way to approach things that will help them to grow. But this takes a commitment to evaluating and approximating some level of value to any given thing in your life, right? I mean, it really does. That's the only way you can grow. That's the only way that life remains interesting, or the only way that you can leverage things or people to your advantage. Now, there are people who love to say, I love everybody. I'm just a very loving person. I don't judge anybody. I treat everybody the same. First of all, that's bullcrap. Second of all, you shouldn't do that. It's completely impractical, all right? While everything may have some value, not everything has the same value. So you have to decide what's going to serve you or others best. This is not a selfish endeavor I'm talking about. For instance, some of the best videos that you're ever some of the most successful videos on YouTube are review videos, right? These are the ones who take things like cameras, like this DJI Osmo Pocket 2 camera that I'm enthralled with. I'm absolutely intrigued with it because it's so practical, so useful. It serves so many different purposes. It's highly valuable to me. But there are other cameras in different ranges that have more value, some with less, okay? I fell on this one because it served my purpose best. I thought it was best for the task that I wanted to take on. And I'm ever so grateful, but I did my homework. I watched a lot of videos. And there's other cameras that are coming out even this week and next week that I can't wait to get my hands on, or at least potentially do so. So I watched tons of videos on the new GoPro, the new Insta360, the new DJI Osmo Pocket or action camera that they have coming out. But I do that so I can determine the values of each one and which one serves my purpose. They're all good. They're all good, but there are some out there that are not good at all. But if I don't make a judgment, if I don't form an opinion, well, then I'm just going to be at the wit and whim of everything that wants to take advantage of me out there, which is what people do with everything else, including relationships. So it does help to make approximate calculations. Are you doing that with your relationships? There are people in your orbit who, they might be friends, they might be coworkers, they might be relatives. All these people have some sort of value. Some may not have very much, and others may have immense value. But what purpose, what kind of value does each one have? Not everybody has the same thing to offer. That's why when you're in the dating pool, it's important to size up whether this person would be good marriage material or not. I know when I first met my wife, one of the first things that went through my head was she's going to make a great mother. And that was a big determining factor. That had incredible value to me. Okay? And we have to do this with everything else in our life, and even with our jobs. There may come a time when you have to go, this job that has been valuable to me for so long, it no longer offers me the same thing. Or there's something better out there. There are other people in your life, while they may not be people you want to hang with, that you want to be friends with, you don't want to go sit down and have drinks with them, but they're useful in some other way. You might say, well, Greg, this sounds like you're willing to use people. Well, not exactly, but in some ways, yes. Now, it sounds horrible, I know. But the truth of the matter is that you have to remember that not everybody wants to be loved, admired, and respected, and wants to be in a loving, familial, congenial relationship with you. Some people just want to be useful. And that's where you have to calculate where somebody falls in line with your purpose. So it's important to remember that. What kind of value does this person, this thing, or this idea have in my life? It's easy to look at something and say whether something is right for somebody else or not. But do we do that with ourselves? Can you determine in what way somebody should be allowed into your life and how much time you should give them? Are you making rational decisions? Rational judgments and opinions? Or are you just trying to be nice? Are you just trying to go with the status quo? Make your calculations. Make them accurately. Think about these things. Don't just move in the direction of the breeze. This is sometimes you have to go against the grain. Not everyone's going to like you, and not everyone's going to find you to be extremely valuable to them, but somebody will. And sometimes you might feel used. You have to understand that sometimes that's okay from time to time, because you can't serve every purpose for everybody. You're not the greatest guy or the greatest girl in the world. You never have been, you never will be. But to somebody you might be. You might be someone's cup of tea. You don't want to be everybody's. So give other people that freedom likewise. I hope it's giving you something to think about. It's okay to size things up. It's okay to formulate new ways of doing things and intentionally making moves in other directions. And it's also all right to jettison what is no longer useful to you and integrating new things that'll serve a better purpose. All right? All right, guys. Like I said, I hope that's helped. I hope it's meant something to you. Leave your comments down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Be wise.